don't give me no Bam or weed. We don't smoke that shit in the SFC. Hey, what up, y'all? It's Young Rick. Welcome back to Westside Level. And yes, you guys made it. We're here to the Mix Bus EQ. Straight into it. The first knob I want to look at when I'm dealing with this is our high cut knob. So the goal with this knob is we're going to try to clean up our low end. So we're going to listen to see if it gives us a cleaner sound when we do this cut. But also we're going to be looking at our meter to see if it actually gives us more headroom. Because sometimes with using this high pass filter, you could actually change the shape of the signal, and it could actually boost and not give us more headroom, and actually give us less headroom and be counterproductive to our high passing. So if it does not solve these two purposes of cleaning up the low end and giving us more headroom, then I recommend that you don't use the low pass filter at all. We just cut it off. So let's go ahead and play the mix, start cutting, and let's see what happens. Keep your eyes fixed on this meter right here to see what happens. All right, so let's get into it. Alright, so as you can see, as I demonstrated right here, when we did this high cut, it actually changed the shape and it boosted our signal. So because it did that and it didn't really achieve what I wanted it to do, I'm going to leave this high cut off. But now we're going to go ahead and move to our shelving filter. So the goal right here is just to kind of bring back those dynamics, because remember, we squashed it with some compression and then we gave it a little bit more of a squash with saturation. So we definitely need to bring a little bit of that low end bump back. So what I'm gonna do to do that is I'm going to go ahead and take our low shelf and I'm going to pick let's see how 220 sounds. And what I like about the Bax EQ is that it's done in very small increments. So we're going by 0.5 each time. So I'm just go ahead and give it a boost and see if we can get some of that low end tone back. Alright, so as you can see, I boosted it by 1 dB, going in 0.5 increments. And that did what the job of what I wanted it to do. It brought out that low end, it brought the dynamics back at that low end. So very simple. That's why I like this EQ. We already balanced our mix the way we want. This is just to get some broad strokes in and really kind of repair everything that we did with our compression and saturation. So another thing that I like about this EQ is that it adds mid-side. So at this point, I'm going to engage, if we look at this bottom, the bottom left corner of our plugin, of our EQ, I'm going to engage this mid-side button and I'm going to turn the link off. That's going to allow me to independently work these controls on the side. Now the top right here represents the mid and the bottom represents the side. So what I'm going to do at this section is on the side version, I'm going to look at the shelf and pick a frequency and kind of try to give some air to our instruments, our higher percussive drums. So let's go ahead and do that and see how that sounds. right, so listening back to it, I went ahead and picked the 7.1 frequency and I boosted it by just 0.5 dB. And that to me brought out a lot of the just the higher end of our mix, the keyboards, the chord progression, the leads. That just brought life to it. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to and this is all with this EQ, just these two broad strokes. So now we're just going to do an A and B. So I'm going to go back and engage this link button. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, I went ahead and engaged the link button. That way the bypass is linked. And then I'm going to go ahead and bypass our EQ to see if we brought back a good tone. This is before our EQ. All right, so this is going to go ahead and be after our EQ. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump in and out so you can hear. So as you can hear, it brought a lot of life back to our mix. So let's go ahead and gain stage this mix back to where it needs to be. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and gain stage this EQ back to where it needs to be. That way we can get a real A and B going. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so now that I got our EQ gain staged back, let's go ahead and listen to a before and after with our EQ gain stage. So this is before. This is after our EQ. And then I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and out. And as you can hear, a lot more punchy, a lot more life to the mix. So as far as the mix bus, this is the full tone. The next tutorial we'll be getting into mastering. Alright, like always, y'all niggas be smooth. Go ahead and give me a like. I'm Young Rick. This is Westside Level. I'm out. Gone.